Well, howdy, folks. Welcome to another RSG special live stream. I'm Ranger J, 1999, and we're interrupting your normally scheduled programming for this live discussion about the big bombs that they just dropped us in swgoh. And joining me is some of the crew here and Combe Cobra. So we got Combe Cobra, we got the Big Deal Grande Patron, aka the French Tickler, aka the prison government Wi-Fi stealer, aka the Chicken Chaser. Also joining us is Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman, and of course the Battlefront 2 concierge, consumer, Vincel. And we are all here to talk about this. We were going to do Battlefront. That got put on the back burners. We got
not this. No more, you're not.
I'd have been out trying to take care of some stuff. I get home. I hadn't seen any of the news. Set up Battlefront. B's like, yeah, and all of a sudden Grande and Finn, being the buttholes that they are, like, start screaming and yelling at me, and I'm like, oh my god, and then here we are. So I would just like to say that I was right.
You were right. Okay.
I told you HK-47 was going to be dealing with stuff. Now I thought maybe before Revan, but I think with all these characters that we get into the Old Republic and stuff, that yeah. But kind of a big thing going on here. Let's go to the big deal. This is kind of a big deal itself, Grande.
I would agree. This is a big deal.
So Grande's got the information. I've got it here up on the screen.
Yep.
We're going to let Grande read, folks, but I just want to warn you, he sucks at reading. So
for a little bit, we're going to let me read, and then we'll stop if it gets too bad. So
yeah, because there's only so much we can take of Grande reading.
So we got The Road Ahead, July 5th, 2018. This is from CG Carey. It says, hello, Holotable heroes. It's time to begin. It's time again for the quarterly Road Ahead, where I reveal some of what the team is planning to accomplish in the upcoming months for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and give insight into the development process, as well as what you can expect to see from the team in that time, and for some of our larger updates. So, celebrating the 15th anniversary of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. This July marks the 15th anniversary of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, created by BioWare. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic delivered a deep, compelling role-playing experience filled with exciting new characters that were introduced into the Star Wars universe. To celebrate the anniversary, we are thrilled to bring you some more beloved characters from Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, including light side companions such as Jedi Padawan Bastila, Stan, and I'm messing these names all up. Then the Jedi Jolie Bindo and the Rutan Twi'lek mission Vato, and the Wookiee Zalbar, and the beloved utility droid T3M4. I probably butchered all that, so we'll stop right there and talk about these characters. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's that?
Yeah, it's Bastila Shan.
Yep, Bastila Shan.
Yeah, I think you did well with the other ones, so you're all right, Ron.
Okay.
But I don't know how you skip lovable and put your own word in there. That's amazing to me, but let's continue on.
So I think we need to talk about these characters, right? So that's 5 characters.
Yeah, so who are they? Let's look. I pulled up the Wikipedia for you guys. So Bastila Shan is, I'll read it here, was a human female who served as a Jedi Padawan during the Jedi Civil War. Born on the planet Talaravin to Helena Shan and a treasure hunter, her mother gave her up to the Jedi Order, believing that their lifestyle of travel and extortions was not suitable for her daughter. Shan was found to have an exceptional gift with a force power known as battle meditation, which increased her allies' morale while demoralizing her enemies. Shan sided with the Jedi Council when the Jedi Knights Revan and Malak rebelled against the Council and joined the Galactic Republic in the war against the invading Mandalorian Neo-Crusaders. Now, there's a whole bunch of more stuff in here, but basically, Bastila Shan is a character from that time. At that time, she's a Padawan, but she goes on to become much more, and she becomes the wife of our Lord and Savior, Darth Revan. So, if you want to know more about Bastila Shan, you can, but that's just a little bio. She did carry I think she carried a yellow lightsaber. It's pretty badass.
What kind of lightsaber?
Yeah, she has a yellow lightsaber.
Yellow lightsaber. Okay.
Yep. Jolie Bindu was a male human Jedi who served the Jedi Order in the Galactic Republic during the Great Sith War. Having participated in several Rimworld missions, Bindu fought against Exar Kun, who's now canon, and went into self-imposed exile on Kashyyyk soon afterwards. Near the close of the Jedi Civil War, he joined Revan against Darth Malak in the Sith Empire. You have to know the games, but yeah. So that's another great one.
So we have 2 Revan references now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mission Vow. Or Veo, Vow. I always said Vow. It's pronounced Veo. Oh. V-A-O is pronounced V-E-O. Okay. Veo was a female... I had to pronounce it all these times wrong. Good God. Was a female... Rutlian... I can't say that name. Twi'lek, who lived in a street... As a street urchin on the Ecumenopolis... Good Lord, they're using some big words today. Ecumenopolis of Terrace during the Mandalorian Wars and the first half of the Jedi Civil War. She preferred speaking Galactic Basic Standard rather than her parents' native language, and was the closest friend of the Wookiee Zalbar. She joined the crew of the Ebon Hawk following her encounter with Revan and the destruction of Taris, and was a vital member of Revan's crew in search for the Star Forge and the triumph of the Galactic Republic over the Sith Empire and the Battle of Rakata Prime. She parted ways with Revan after the defeat of Darth Malak. All right, next one is Zalbar.
Third Revan, and now she got a little buddy that's a Wookiee. Got it.
Yeah, little my ass, he's huge. Zalbar, also nicknamed Big Z by Mission VO, was a male Wookiee who aided the former Sith Lord Revan in his quest throughout the galaxy to find and destroy the Star Forge superweapon. Originating from the Mid-Rim Wookiee homeworld of Kashyyyk, Zalbar was the son of Wookiee chieftain Frere, but had been exiled from his homeworld. Zalbar was considered in Wookiee culture to be a mad claw, a title of dishonor, as he attacked his brother Shudar with his climbing claws, violating a Wookiee code of conduct. Despite his brother's deals with slavers, which had led to their fight, Zalbar's father did not believe his accusation against Shudar. Leaving Kashyyyk, Zalbar traveled to the planet Taris, where he encountered and befriended the Twi'lek orphan Mission Veo. Zalbar and Veo traveled everywhere on Taris together. The two protected one another in the absence of any other companions, and a close bond was forged between them. Also, the duo affiliated themselves with the lower city gang known as the Hidden Becks. When the amnesiac Revan traveled to the planet alongside Republic soldier Garth Onasi and began a search for the Jedi Knight Bess Lashan, whom they needed to find to aid the Republic war from consistent Empire. They encountered Veo and Zalbar. After Zalbar was captured by Gamorrean slavers and held prisoner in the sewers of the Undercity, Veo turned to Revan and his companions for help in rescuing the Wookiee. With their combined abilities, Revan and the party were able to do so, ending with Zalbar swearing a life debt to the then amnesiastic Revan. Escaping terrorists with Revan and his companions after their orbital bombardment of the planet that resulted in the destruction of Taris, Zalbar agreed to travel around the galaxy with Revan and his companions to search for the ancient star map artifacts which would lead them to the Star Forge. As one of the star maps was located on Kashyyyk, Zalbar returned to his homeworld with Revan in search of it. With Revan's help, he cleared his name and liberated his homeworld from the slaving operations of the Pan-Galactic Zerka Corporation. He parted ways with Revan after the defeat and death of Sith Lord Darth Malak. Alright, and then finally T3M4. He was the droid. T3M4, also called T3 for short, was a T3 series utility droid built as a master slicer for crime lord Davik Gang. His life of crime was short-lived, however, after Taris was bombarded by the Sith and Davik was killed. He then accompanied Revan on his search for the Star Forge. There you go.
So we have
he did more stuff, but there's basically there.
And we have 5 references to Revan, basically.
Yeah, our Lord and Savior's coming.
Okay. So next it says we will be sharing more about these characters in the upcoming weeks. Game and feature roadmap. Something we use internally to guide the direction of the game is a multi-year roadmap, which we put together to help identify the direction we want to go. There are numerous things we try to balance between new features and quality of life and features for new players or for those at the end game. Content for those who prefer player versus environment or player versus player. All these things we try to use to strike a balance of features, and then we layer on the rotation of characters from throughout the Star Wars universe. From different movies and shows, trying to capture every last bit of the fandom. I mention this because I want to describe how we came to the decision of what we wanted to do with our title update 13 build, which is slated to release sometime in the next couple of months. If you look at the last few releases spanning all the way back to TU9 at the end of last summer, which was the release of Territory Battles, we have tried to touch on different parts of the player experience. Territory Battles was an entirely new feature aimed at making use of the entire collection and creating more cooperation inside of the guild. The next update, Territory Wars, while still focusing on guild play, introduced cooperative competitive play with our regular quality of life. Send a voicemail. Gemini Cricket. Let me get back to wherever I was. People are calling me now.
Mm-hmm. You're a big deal. What happens?
Quality of life. With our regular quality of life version in February, it was time for us to provide a little release introducing brand new features and to focus on improvements to help players save time that had been creeping up from the previous releases and the new raid. In TU12 and TU13 both, we are hoping to refine and build upon existing systems that have either not caught on sufficiently or that we think can be better. All of this is laying the groundwork for the things we intend to do in the future, and we want to ensure that the foundation is stable. Next paragraph. As I've mentioned several times in the past months, we are aware of one of the biggest requests from the community has been to facilitate mod loadouts, or an easy way for players to swap a group of mods from one character to another. However, not only was this a pretty hefty task for a normal quality of life update, but we knew there were a number of things we believed needed to be done with mods in order for them to reach their potential. From looking at the data, we know there are a vast majority of players who have not even engaged with the feature, and in talking with the community, we've heard that they're too complicated. With an eye on solving concerns for both people who understand mods very well and those who don't use them at all, we have set about on a number of changes and quality of life improvements to the mod system, and we'll stop there. So I think a couple of things. We've said this before. You really got to read these road aheads and the state of the guild posts. I mean, the state of the galaxy posts, because they'll talk about it. Absolutely, she's talked about before that they try to build on layers with everything they do. And then she's also said before that she's heard that mods are a problem, and devs have said that in other posts, that they understand that is one of the biggest features. I mean, we spend every day reviewing characters, talking mods, and reviewing rosters. I mean, if nothing else, we have talked mods a ton, and we've tried to explain to people that while speed is important, it's not the Finity. Finity is one of the biggest proponents for talking about offense mods, for example. Wouldn't you agree, Finity? I mean, what do you feel about this post or these last two paragraphs?
I mean, so I like the concept. I like the direction they're going. I have some concerns as we get into the details of it, but overall, I do like what they're focusing on. So I have no issues with anything that they wrote so far.
I think he does.
I don't either.
Let's have Finn read the rest.
Well, so Finn, do you want to read that next bolded section? Upcoming feature changes.
Yeah. So upcoming feature changes.
All the way down to clarity of mod screen or whatever. Yeah, read that whole section.
So, upcoming feature changes. All of our updates have underlying goals that help us to frame what we're trying to accomplish for Galaxy of Heroes, and with mods, those goals seemed pretty clear. Clarity, make mods easier to understand for players who find them overwhelming or confusing. Ease of use, make mods easier to use for all players, but particularly address usability concerns for players who currently engage with them and make the system work the way they want it to. Balance, create more diversity in mod meta by elevating some of the sets that are currently underutilized. Depth, deeper investment in mods while respecting the investment made so far in existing mods. I'm going to talk about some of the changes you can expect to see for each of these goals. However, we have already begun to get player feedback on some of these items and will be running a couple alpha and beta tests in advance of their release. Although we are starting to see many of you really engage with the new feature we added with the ships update, we acknowledge it can be frustrating when existing systems change. We also recognize that we could have done a better job messaging the changes to help the community get better prepared for the upcoming changes. It is our sincere belief that these mod goals reflect more about improving your mod experience than changing it. Unlike how ships were prior to TU12, we believe there is more currently working with mods than not. However, we do want to address some of the issues above to increase the use and utility of them. We're working on a full communication plan to explain and visualize the changes coming to mods, which you'll see rolling out soon. Here's a taste of what's to come. So
Absolutely. So the thing I see with that couple of paragraphs is they understand that part of the messaging was wrong with ships.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of the planning was wrong, and like pushing it out, and that they needed to utilize YouTube, they needed to utilize influencers better, and they needed to take the time to do it right. What we came out with, and the other thing too, that I mean, look, PvE content is great. But after you 3-star a battle, what else do you do with ships? I mean, you play one battle in PvP, and you play one battle in TW every day, and you play one battle in TV every day. So TV and TW, it's not very like epic. So yeah, I feel like they definitely. But I do also kind of agree with her that more is working with mods than is not, which I think is true. Anybody else have any comments about those couple of paragraphs?
No, not until we see the final product. See what's happening.
Yeah. You want to do Ranger? You want to do clarity all the way down to ease of use?
Yeah. So as mentioned, many players don't engage with mods at all, and many who do have expressed frustration and confusion about how to utilize the system. We are planning on addressing that with recommended mods. And you can see from the picture here, basically it's basic mod screen. It auto assigns recommended mods and recommended mods equipped. Those are the three pictures in the picture right below this, above this. Recommended mods. One of the primary reasons why many players do not engage with mods is that determining which mods are best for a character requires a lot of knowledge about the character's abilities. To increase mod accessibility, we've introduced a new mod screen that is similar to equipping gear. In this view, one of the player's currently owned mods is recommended for that character and can be assigned. If the player does not have the recommended mod, then a find flow will direct to a location where the mod can be acquired. The player can even press an auto-assign button to assign the best mods for that character. Note, we understand some players use different mods depending on different factors, and while we will be offering top-tier recommendations, the primary focus of the system is to help make mods easier for use for people who don't understand them deeply. Basic mod screen. Mod recommendations occur on a new screen called the basic view. This will allow people who don't want to be inundated with information to simply focus on what mods they have equipped and how to upgrade them. You can choose between basic and advanced, and once selected, your choice will stick, so you don't have to switch back and forth if you don't want to. Note, if you already have an advanced mod, if you're already an advanced mod user, you can opt to stick on the advanced screen, which will remain the same as it is currently. Ease of use mod layouts. Let's look at here.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll read that point. So ease of use mod layouts. So While a number of items are intended to improve the usability of mods, like removing the destroy button, which was a remnant of a previous time, the primary objective was to provide advanced users with a mod layout feature. Similar to saving squads for characters, the mod layouts will allow you to save out groupings of mods, name them for easier reference, and then load them up into other characters just with a few button presses. This will even allow removing equipped mods and assigning them to a new character in one step. This is huge. So a couple of things. You guys have known for a long time that one of my biggest beefs was the freaking destroy button, and remove the destroy button. And so we got mod loadouts, and they removed the destroy, or we're going to get mod loadouts, and they're going to remove the destroy button. Both of those are excellent features. I see nothing wrong at all with this feature. I think it's hugely been asked for, and it's how we really use mods today. No more drunken destroying your favorite speed mod or something on accident. Anybody else have any questions or comments about the ease of use and mod loadouts? Finity, do you have anything you wanted to add about that?
The mod loadouts concern me a little bit.
Okay.
So I don't know if you remember. There's a game that you can play, and it used to have like all these boxes, right? And you would press a box, and then it would kind of make like a plus sign and change the color of the boxes, and it would turn from like white to black, and you have to keep on pressing it to get like the whole thing black. Do you know the game like I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, well, so essentially it comes up with a pattern, and you'll press a button, and then if you press that button, like the box to the top, to the left, to the right, and to the bottom of it will change to black. And the one that you touch will turn white. Then you press on another one, that one will switch, and it'll switch the ones to the top, left, right, and bottom. And you keep on doing this, and it's like a puzzle game. And the goal is to try and get all of the squares to be a single color. And so you keep on pressing it, and you try to get it into a sequence, and you do that. I'm kind of seeing something similar with what's possibly going to happen with mod layouts. Because I see that on the first screenshot that they have, where it says like the go to the loadouts. They have the icon of where the mod are. Like if the mod is assigned, it has like the little icon for the character, which is fine. But if you then pull a mod that includes a mod from, let's say one of those was on Rex, and now you go to that loadout and then you equip that loadout on a different character, then potentially you're going to then you're going to remove a mod from Rex, right? Is it going to switch it from the character that you're putting it on? Or is it just going to leave it blank? So now you have to look at who did I have these mods equipped on? And so you have to see, okay, so I'm pulling this mod set, and it was on Rex.
I see what you're saying. You're trying to keep from having circular logic in the mod loadouts.
Right, like you end up, well, no, it's not necessarily circular logic, but let's suppose like you move the mod, right? Let's say you take the arrow mod for this set, and it was on Rex, and now you move it to CLS, just sticking with what they kind of show here. So you see that Rex one. So now Rex either has CLS's old arrow mod, or he has no arrow mod. But when you move this mod set, you have to pay attention to it.
Well, just
so
say this will allow removing quick mods
off characters where it's already there. So if you have a mod set and the mod is already equipped on another character, it's still going to pull that mod. So now you have to go back to that character, because potentially you could have broken up a 4-piece speed set.
Well, hold on, because this is just for mods loadouts. I don't think
that's advanced users too. I mean, this is super advanced users, right? And effectively, what happens is if you're getting to loadouts, then what would happen is if you're using the loadouts and not using the recommended, then you're going to move them all as a set, and so you have to refill in that other set and make that a set.
Well, I think that it would basically switch the mod loadout you have from one character from another, right? So
that's if you set it that way, though. So if you set a mod loadout, right, to have all of your mods on a single character, this was part of the reason why I was a proponent more of just a single character-to-character switch. But in this case, you can have a mod set that has one mod from Rex, one mod from Vader, one mod from Palpatine, one mod from Thrawn, whatever, and then you stick them all on CLS, right? Now those 4 characters are having their mods pulled for them. Are they getting the old mods that were on CLS, or are they now empty? Now you have to figure out which ones you had, which ones were in that old mod set, and then you have to go back and check them because you broke up potential set bonuses.
Yeah, but it's probably empty, right?
If it's empty, then you have to go onto those characters, and then you have to fill the mods for every single one of those characters, or you have to load another mod set, and that could create a chain where some of your other characters are going to get messed up, right?
That's the circular logic that we're talking about. But what you would probably want to do is, if you're a high-end player, you've made load, which means, you've already made a high-speed, high-crit chance set. That's your best speed set with your best crit chance set that you've got, right? You've already done that. So all you have to do is take that high speed, high crit chance. Let's say you've got that high speed, high crit chance sitting on Treya. All you have to do is turn that into a loadout. And now if you want to move that set from Treya that's on your arena team, say
to CLS.
To CLS, you just make that into a mod set, and you literally pull all of them together.
Yeah. So I think the way to use this, so this is why I was like, so they're trying to make these, that's why I was a little, so their intent at the beginning, right? That's why I was fine with the intent. They're trying to make it easier. They're trying to add ease of use and everything, right? But these kind of features are being used by advanced players. Let's just be honest. Like these kind of mod layouts where you're moving it and stuff are by players that are a little bit more advanced. They're focusing, they're trying to get mod sets together, whatever the case is, right? If you create mod sets that aren't all on a single character, the problem is you're going to create a chain reaction where mods are going to get removed from characters, and especially for things like territory wars, right? You're going to end up with characters that may have either no mods in spots because you moved a mod set, or you have a wrong mod because it's swapped, whatever the case is. I think it's probably going to be blank to what you're saying, Grande.
It's going to be blank, bro. They ain't going to swap them because
if they leave it blank,
more credits.
Right. Yeah. So if they leave it blank, and it's not necessarily a user error thing, Kyrell. Everything is kind of working as intended. It's not a user error, but I'm thinking the way that you have to actually work this out is to have the entire set on a character. Because if they're not on a character, you're going to create a chain reaction where a lot of your characters may end up being unmodded.
Well, you should have a button for this is revert back.
Well, revert is like what the current one is, right?
It'll revert. They'll probably have a revert button, but it'll just be while you're in this particular mod screen. If you don't, if you hit confirm, they ain't gonna. And you go play the Sith raid, and then you come back, they ain't gonna have a revert button back because the game's not gonna remember all that stuff.
No. That requires way too much memory to remember.
Yeah. They're not gonna be able to do that. So here's the deal: is mod loadouts are going to be made by high-end level players.
Right, and they should be character-to-character sets. These should be full loadout sets. You shouldn't be pulling pieces from one character and another character.
Well, we have all kinds of players, right? We have all kinds of players. The system is infinitely tunable. So you could say, arena team. I have 5 dudes on my arena. When I'm done playing the raids, I go onto my arena mod loadout sets, and I throw everything back on my arena team, right? And then you go back in and you modify the loadouts, and you have Sith Raid P1 loadouts, and you have Sith Raid P2 loadouts. Sith Raid the system's adjustable, just like how the character selection screen is adjustable. That's what it looks like to me when I look at it. With loadouts, so you can have arena, TW, and I get it. You pulled a OP mod off a freaking Cad Bane. Well, hell, it never should have been on Cad Bane to begin with. And you got to go back in and check your mods before TW starts. Duh! If you're a high-level player, you should have been doing that already.
Yeah, I think, there's nothing wrong with the feature. The only thing I'm saying is when it actually comes to use, and I see the examples, right? They call it like speed 87 and speed 83, crit 20, and health 10k, right? if you do these kind of mods and they add that feature, because I'm assuming that these mod sets are including mods that are not equipped, because I don't see the little circular icon that like shows what character they're.
I agree.
So when it comes to actual gameplay, I think we'll have to make, in order to use this properly, I think what we'll have to do is create mod sets that have the name of a character in particular. So this is your Thrawn mod set. And you can include Thrawn speed or Commander Luke speed crit damage or whatever you want to call it, right? But that makes it so it's an identifier to a particular character. Right. And then you have your mod sets with the character-to-character transition, and you're not pulling from 5 characters and then having to remod 5.
Here's what I like about it. The system is infinitely adjustable. You can name the folders whatever you want. You can name the mod set whatever you want. So if you think character, you can do that. If somebody thinks I need to put what's my max speed set, what's my second max speed set with crit chance, if you think speed crit set, what's my best speed crit set, what's my second best speed crit set, if that's how you think, you can make them that way, right? If you think this is my speedy health protection set for a tank, or this is my sweet tenacity set, or these are my, this is my plus 1,000 offense set that needs to, I use, OG Han in arena and I need him speedy here. You could have a tab that's OG Han, max speed, and then you could have another one that's OG Han, max offense. I mean, however you want to set this up, you could totally set it up. Now, does that mean that some mods get pulled off of somebody and now you don't know where they are or whatever? Absolutely. Are you going to have to be careful about it? Absolutely. But that's part of the player experience.
It is. And I think it adds another wrinkle to how you could make the mods a little bit easier to handle. So, I mean, I like the feature. I like the abilities that it gives us. I like the fact that we can create these mod sets, or the mod loadouts as they call it, and create these sets. Like I said, the only thing is when it's not tied to a particular character, you can start this chain reaction where all the characters become unequipped as you're trying to do something for Heroic Sith, or you're doing something for Arena or whatever. So you have to be careful.
You got a naked character in Arena, or you got a naked character in TW. That's on you as the player. Go fix your fix your stuff.
Let's
Finity, do you want to read?
Let's move on to the next one.
Balance and depth, Finity. You want to read those two?
Sure. So balance, pulling up underused stats. We know a few mod sets like defense aren't good enough to warrant even using them right now. We'll be making them more powerful while not decreasing the value of any existing sets. This will provide more variety in mods without decreasing the value of any existing mods. The speed set will not be changed.
All right. Personally, I think this is totally directed at tenacity and not directed at defense. In my personal opinion.
Defense too.
I think it is defense. The problem with tenacity is the whole formula is off. You wouldn't be able to correct it with just the mods.
It depends on what they do with the stats.
Yeah, like you would have to go super OP with the stats. Like if full set, like if you got 6 pieces, you would get 100% tenacity, which would counter the base 100, and then it's just straight potency versus tenacity, or something like ridiculous like that is the only thing that brings tenacity back. Defense is easier to manage because defense is just a percentage of the stat that converts into armor. So you can scale that a little bit, but
armor and resistance penetration, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't just do armor; it also does resistance penetration. Yeah. Because people have been resisting penetration from Finity for a long time. I'm just messing with you, brother. You know that.
Yes.
Okay. So you guys really do think this is based on defense and not based on tenacity?
I think tenacity is going to be part of it, but I think tenacity is harder to fix.
Some of the mods that just aren't being utilized is for a reason. They're just not being utilized because they suck. The stats that you get from them are just not worth investing in. There are exceptions, right? But
like exceptional characters, typically based on their unique, which modifies the environment.
Right. Like I use defense on Kenobi, but he's that rare exception. Where he also has, again, his leader deals with defense, right? So, and he's got a high defense already, so that makes sense. Health stats,
And you can see how they've been trying to modify health already with some of the uniques on some of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I agree. I love it. They need to change this, and they're keeping speed the same. Okay, I'm okay with that. Infinity, you want to talk about the depth one?
Yeah, so depth, introducing slicing. One of the things that has added to the difficulty of understanding mods is the fact that it's unclear which mods are good in the first place. A mod's tier color is currently based on the number of secondary stats when it's acquired. For example, a tier A or a gold mod has 4 secondary stats at level 1, where a tier E or a gray mod has no secondary stats at level 1. What is confusing is that then we increase the tier, change the color when leveling the mod. This results in all level 15 mods being tier A gold, when there's a vast difference in the value of a level 15 mod that started at tier A gold versus one that started at tier E gray. To better represent the value of the mod, we are separating in improving the level of the mod from improving the tier of the mod. In the future, as you level up a mod to level 15, you will reveal all 4 secondary stats. You will not see the color change any longer as you level the mod. By revealing the secondary stats prior to leveling up the secondary stats, we're trying to give players the choice whether they want to invest in a mod before spending anything on it.
Nice.
In an upcoming release, we're going to set each mod's color according to represent we're going to set each mod's color according to represent the tier of the mod when it was.
Can you not read all of a sudden?
Does that make? I don't know. It's not making sense to me. We're going to set each mod's color according to represent the tier of the mod when it was first acquired. However, the mod stats will remain unchanged. The sentence is still not making sense, but I know what it's trying to say.
Yeah, it's basically the color that you originally purchased or got it at will be the color.
Yeah, I don't think the word according needs to be there. So, okay. We are going to roll this change out prior to the client update so that you can get familiarity with how this affects your current mod roster. This may be somewhat of a visual shock, but keep in mind that the stats are not changing through this update. We'd also suggest that until these changes go into effect, you may want to avoid mass selling your 5-dot mods so you can make a more accurate decision about their value. We are also introducing a new feature, slicing, that allows players to improve the mod's tier. Similar to crafting gear, slicing requires new pieces of salvage that can be acquired through mod battles. Once the salvage has been acquired, slicing a mod will upgrade a random secondary stat and increase the tier, making it roughly equivalent to getting that tier mod in the first place, but at a different cost. For example, slicing a tier E gray mod 3 times will turn it into a tier B or a purple mod. Slicing can only be done on Rarity 5 mods. More about this will be revealed in the upcoming weeks.
I don't understand this last part. I understand it, but I don't understand why they're doing this crap this way. Just allow us to slice the goddamn mod. We don't need to be farming more crap in a different... Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay, so they say mod battles. I really hope you can get these from mod challenges too. Whatever the salvage pieces are, they need to make these acquirable through challenges, because it is going to be really, really annoying if we need 5-dot mods and we're spending Cantina energy in order to get 1-dot and 2-dot mods for salvage. Like, this is going to end up being really, really bad if that's the system, because Cantina energy is already at a premium.
They had me all the way up to this part, and I even agree with the slicing, but to require salvage from that area, wasting Canteen energy.
Assuming, so again, this is assuming they don't give us another source of energy for the mod battles. So they've already added
I didn't see anything like that in there, so I'm assuming they're not.
They said there's more details coming in. I mean, it probably isn't, but what I'm saying is it's possible. And I think if they add a new source of energy, that would be the only way that makes this viable.
Yeah, if they don't, then I'm expect a Ranger rant on that part, because that's ridiculous. Come on, man.
Okay, so here's what I think, right? When was the last time any of us went to the mod battles table?
Not since we unlocked them.
Not since we started, yeah.
I mean, it's been I can remember maybe a year and a half ago, Finity was like, well, you should actually go to the mod battles table. And when you're in a mod battles table, you should farm for the mod that you need. I remember Infinity actually saying that.
That was at the beginning. Yep, when mods first came out,
Right.
Yeah.
you got the mod set, especially for
this
speed.
Table this table has not been touched in like a year and a half, right? Which effectively means everything about this table would need to be changed. The rarity of the mods, what we get from this table. I mean, they have a whole table now that you could put. I mean, we have like 8 or 10 levels in this daggum thing, right? And I hadn't even looked. Let's go back and look at. So there are 8 levels, and you just get mods from here. They could put gear in here. They could put characters in here. They could change the mods from 2 dot and 1 dot mods to when you get up in the top. Maybe you get 5 dot mods of a particular shape that you want, and you potentially get gear, and you potentially get stuff. To where, I mean, they're going to have to change a bunch about this table. They're going to have to change a bunch about it. I mean, they're going to have to make this table's rewards look similar to how the fleet area's rewards look.
Right. If they don't, then I'm going to be very not happy.
I mean, they could do, to me anyways, I think, and this, I don't know, I doubt they're going to go in this direction. But just from thinking about it, what they could do is all of these mods, right, are going to need, they said it's like gear salvage.
It just,
and with gear
why
salvage,
add salvage? Just use credits. Make it.
Well, even if it's salvage, right? It doesn't have to be like super complicated. But if we just stick with the concept of like the gear salvage, right? There's usually one piece or one item that you need to collect a lot of, and there's one that you have a crazy amount for. And so if you are farming those, let's say they just changed the last node of each of the levels to the equivalent of the challenge, the final 5 dot challenge. So you have a chance of any of the shapes, right? But you have to use the characters. This is all in the mod now. They just changed that last node, and on that last node, you will get one of the common pieces that's required for every mod update. No matter what mod it is, every single one gets you that one common piece, whatever it is. And then there's a specific piece. There's a specific piece for each set. So you have to run that tenacity last mod battle in order to upgrade your tenacity mods. There's a specific one for potency in order to get your potency. If you're doing another one for speed, you have to do the speed set one, whatever it is. And that brings the combat back to the mod table. Because I don't think spending Cantina energy on salvage, especially, and I'm going to go back. Do you remember the drop rate when they put reinforcement mats on 6A?
Yeah.
Like, if that is the drop rate for salvage for mods, and you're farming 1 dot and 2 dot mods, which they basically said is completely irrelevant, even this post itself basically tells you that anything short of 5 dot mods is worthless now.
Right.
Like I could validate anything that you guys, and we've had this discussion before. There are 4 dot and 3 dot mods that are completely viable. I had no issue with getting those mods, and I have modded up characters accordingly. With this update, hell if I'm recommending that now. Because you stifle your own progress because you don't get the extra chance of getting the speed upgrade. You don't get the extra chance of getting the offense upgrade, whatever it is. So I think they need to make it so that the mod battle, to what you're saying, Rondé, needs a major change, and that might require you to basically get rid of mod challenges and incorporate the challenges into the mod battles and bring all the combat back over there.
You know what? What I wish Chrome and Van would just shut up and quit saying anything. Oh, they haven't. Why don't you guys speak up?
I don't know. We just talk all the time. Now, I like Fionn's idea with the mods. That actually would make a lot of sense.
I mean, what do you think about the salvage crap?
I've put up with salvage so much. It's just another thing now.
Oh, you're not excited.
I mean, it's something to get excited about, but we also don't know the full implementation of it.
I think they're going to drop the ball on this because from what I'm reading, it's just like, first you're going to a table that nobody uses or needs to use to make it viable again. That's a dumb reason to make a table viable. If the table's not viable, other than from the beginning when you're first unlocking mods, it's like Arena and Galactic War. Eventually you farm everything out of there, you don't need anything anymore. It's not viable after a point. Right? Now you're trying to force us back in there?
What I'm saying is that they spent a bunch of time on that table, and if they change the rewards, and if we could actually end up saying, oh, hey, look, you guys spent all this time on this, if someone didn't go back and finish those tables, we could be like, hey, why don't you guys go back and finish those tables so you can farm this mod or that mod or the other thing, or go look at this cool stuff. We were looking at more areas to farm Visas Mar, more areas to farm gear, more areas to farm slicing materials.
You really think they're going to have characters to the mod battles?
Look, man, I'm just throwing it out there as did anyone expect to see a Scion node with fleet energy?
Yeah, we had
well,
talked
what
about
they could do, some of the
we had talked about. I didn't expect Scion, but characters. Yeah, we had talked about ships and characters as a place that they
what I'm saying is that table when it was released was incorrect. It would be easier for them to edit that table and make it something that's actually of value in the game, and it would take less bandwidth of developer time.
But then you also have there's a couple problems with this already. Questions that are left unanswered. One, if it's just salvage, that's a problem. If it's going to require us to use Cantina energy, that's going to be a problem, right? What are we going to do with all these crap mods that come out of there? That's going to be a problem. It is just for salvage alone. There's a lot of but ands to this that is not addressed here. That if it is not addressed, where it just salvaged and they just want us to go back in there and use our Cantina energy for this is going to be a huge problem for a lot of players. Me being one of them, because there's no reason whatsoever for this feature to be put in like this with this table for these reasons without more being addressed. I mean, it's already required. The reason I'm saying it's not going to change Grande is because they've already linked it to Cantina, right? They're not going to change that part of it.
They may.
Be shocked.
I'd be shocked, but they may.
They might. We might end up with a Cantina energy and a mod energy. It's totally possible, man. Totally possible.
That's their biggest problem right now.
The biggest problem is that mods and character energy is linked.
Mm-hmm.
If they switched it and now we had mod energy and we had Cantina energy, then it would be different, right? Now you could say, okay, we have mod energy. Think about the dynamic changes it would make, and only Cantina energy and only light side energy count toward your 600. And now you have this mod energy that doesn't count, and you have ships energy that doesn't count, but it's other areas to augment your progress. Without a doubt, man. I think nothing is set in stone. That's what I think. We basically have said are they going to make some mistakes? Sure. Are we going to complain about it? I'm sure we will. But with this 30,000 foot view about, hey, we're going to change mods, and this is how we're going to change it, I think it looks great. Now, we are talking about some serious ass minutia. When we start talking about, is it going to use this or is it going to use that, or I hate this table, man, they changed that whole table. That might be Ranger's favorite freaking table now.
I doubt it.
And I'm just saying, if they changed energy and they changed the rewards,
I'm not a big fan of tables, period. I hate hard node farming. It's my least favorite thing to do in the game.
Yeah, but you just auto those anyways.
I know, but it brings no value. I have to do it. It's boring. It has no. It's just like it's
but
like
see, I actually like that.
Oh God, you like, but you just like chores, Finn. I could put you out there working.
That. Think about this, Ranger. If you actually had to do stuff in the battle, can you imagine how much your time in game is going to increase?
But it's like. It's the difference.
Like, look
I'm playing chess in that mode. I'm actually fighting. I'm actually doing something. Those, it's just like, okay.
I know, but look how much you already have to do. Like, you have territory wars, you have territory battles that alternate every single week.
Yeah,
and
but
you have
I enjoy that stuff. I don't mind that stuff because I'm actually engaged in fighting that stuff, right?
Right, but how long can you stay engaged?
How much easier it would make it for low-level
players. For me,
players.
as an addict, oh yeah.
Imagine how much easier this might make this for low-level players. I mean, I think this helps out whales. It helps out mid-game people. It helps out
everything for the mods to this point right here, they've got me. I think they're really great ideas. This part right here really bothers me.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal, right? If all of a sudden we put, they put in, slicing materials or whatever, if they put that in the regular thing and we use that somehow to upgrade the levels, or they put it in the mod challenges or the other area, you could potentially just have people wail out on it. I mean, I think that this is actually a better way. And
I like the fact because here's what you can do. this is why I like it. You can look at a mod that's like gray and see that it's got speed. Then go and slice it, make it gold, so you can get a higher chance for a better mod, right? I like all that stuff, right? It's just how you go about having to get salvage, and that salvage is the thing that you have to use to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you, I'm gonna be going all in on salvage because I'm almost at max mods already.
Well, same thing here. You see me, I've farmed the farm.
Right, I mean, I've pruned.
I have to sell mods now when I get new mods to make room.
But I mean, I've pruned my mods. I mean, I go through now and I'm like, all right, does it show an offense stat, and does it show a speed stat?
Right.
All right.
No.
If it doesn't, then it goes away.
Well, how about they did this? Like Ranger was talking about not wanting to put in more time. How about they raise the ticket cap to like 40,000 and add the mod energy like Grande was talking about, so the ship energy doesn't add to your 600 total.
How dare you make
won't
sense?
Won't they raise the cap, add mod energy, and everything count towards 800 tickets a day? Get more raids in, and that'll give you a reason to want to spend the mod.
You could get more raids in, and people get gear faster. People get their
less murking.
I mean, you could fix a bunch of stuff with adding a new energy potentially.
That's it, and make people want to spend mod energy to get whatever, you know.
The other thing is, and I'm gonna maybe defend this a little bit more, and it's more in terms of keeping things in context as well, right? What is the benefit of all of this slicing? How worth it is it going to be? So if you have,
well, I just laid out the scenario, Finn, for how that would be benefit. If you look at a mod, remember, you don't have to invest anything in it. You can look at a mod to where it be its max, and if you see speed on there on a gray mod, then you can go in and then do the. Yeah,
but look at what you're getting. So don't just look at it in that perspective, right?
What if I have a gold? Well, here's the deal. What if I have a mod that didn't start out gold? It started out blue, and I leveled it up, and it's on my arena team. And the reason why it's on my arena team is because it procced, it procced 7% crit chance, and it procced like 75 offense. But the other two stats that it procced were like flat protection, and it procced like I don't know, percent offense, right? But it only started out as blue, and it's on my arena team, and I think it's an amazing mod. Now I can buy materials, and I can make that mod even better for my arena team than it was before. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, back when I was first buying mods.
What we're saying is, here's the deal. We're taking a little bit of RNG out of it. We've already said, first of all, I invested a bunch of money in that mod. It took me a long time to freaking find it because I have a buku bunch of mods, and I've decided this mod is one of the top 30 mods that I own. And now I have a way to make one of the top 30 mods that I own even better, rather than going and farming more mods.
Well, potentially, right? So you're hitting RNG again.
You are hitting RNG again. I totally agree with you. But what I'm saying though is that but it's a known quantity. I love all four of the secondary stats. I love the primary. Now what we're saying is that mod we have lowered the randomness that happens there. I know now that if I get these slicing materials and I upgrade that mod's rarity from a D to a B, that I'm going to only get one of those four secondaries. To me, and I've already said it's a great mod because it's on my freaking arena team.
Wait, but that doesn't change anything. Hold on, you're confusing me now, Grande. If you have a blue mod with two stats and one of them is speed, you know that you're getting you're getting either a speed upgrade on the first two upgrades.
Right.
So now on the salvage, you now have a 1 in 4 chance of an upgrade. I don't see how you're reducing the chance of any randomness that you're talking about.
Okay, so what if the way I understand this in depth, introducing slicing, right? Mm-hmm. So all of our mods are going to change back to their color that they were before, right? So,
correct.
So if we had a blue mod and I leveled it all the way up to 15 and now it's gold, it's going to go back to blue, right?
Correct.
And now what's going to happen is we're going to get these slicing materials that lets us upgrade that mod from a C mod to a B mod, which means I get one more secondary stat roll out of the deal.
Yeah. But you have
already
only a 1 in
won-
4 chance of getting it.
Right. 1 in 4 is okay. 1 in 4, but let's say I love all 4 stats.
But 2 of the stats are base stats.
Of course, 2 of the stats are base stats, but now we've leveled it to 4. I've leveled it all the way up to 15. I get 1 more roll. It's gonna run. It's gonna roll any of those 4 stats. So now I have a 1 in 4 chance, whereas before, whenever I upgraded it, I didn't know what those other stats were gonna be.
Smithy D, I brought you in here because Mommy and Daddy are arguing, and I need you to clarify some stuff here.
What's up?
Well, we're talking about all this
Slicing.
slicing
We got
and
on slicing. What's going on?
Yeah.
Sorry, really quick. No matter how you look at it, Grande, your stat only has 4 upgrades total.
Yeah, so if it's
not
great
changing that.
at the beginning, do you know if it's great at the beginning, you're not going to get speed on it? Well, you could if you didn't have speed existing on it. That would be my understanding. So if it's great at the beginning, it's got no stats, so it's only going to add on to one of the 4 stats, isn't it? So it's only going to add and upgrade it. So if you start with a blue, then it's just going to add a 3rd, isn't it? So it's depending how it plays out, it could add speed, depends how they do it. If you already had a speed already at the starting, or it could add on to what a base stat would have been, like crit chance, for example.
Right.
So
if you had a B mod that rolled 15 speed and it's already good enough to be on your arena team, you could, when you slice it again, it could roll speed again, and you could get a 20 speed mod out of that. If you had a mod that let's say if you have a mod that has 150 flat offense on it, and you decide to slice it, it could roll offense again, and now you could have 172 offense. What I'm saying is, it's a way to augment the mods that you are in your inventory and you've already decided are a good enough mod to put on your arena team or to put on one of your raid teams. It's a way to make the mods that you already have, that we've already decided are great, make them even better than great.
Have you seen where that salvage is being put in mod battles?
Yeah,
that's what really chapped my ass. Smithy, can you
put into mod battles? But if you're a player that's already sitting there with all of your characters with 15 dot mods, they're all gold, and you got 275 mods in inventory, are you really upset that you can't farm new mods, and now there's a way for you to make the mods that you already have that are awesome, great? I would say that's a good trade to make.
And I would say that you're on crack because you're a big deal. And it's the fact that I'm still farming stuff out of Cantina, for one. 2, it's
characters, right?
Yeah. The fact that it's going to be linked to, we don't know if it is, but I'm going to assume, because nothing was mentioned about any of this. I can only go with the way it is now.
Sure.
So Cantina energy will have to be used for this. 1, 2, you need salvage pieces to do all this crap, and 3, there's no other rewards from it, right? So it boggles my mind. Smithy, are you with me on this? I mean, are you with the Chicken Chaser?
Yeah, I think if they're gonna do it, they should put on mod challenges, not mod battles, or put it on both.
I agree with that 100%.
Because for end game players, why are you gonna go and start farming 2 dot mods to get salvage for a roll of a dice if it's gonna work or not? That's just wasting resources.
So my thought is that maybe they haven't figured it all out yet, and maybe they change. And maybe they change the rewards we get in the mod battles table, or maybe they change the energy, or maybe they do something else that's going to make it where, hey, at least I'm not just throwing this. I'm not just throwing this towards one thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm not just throwing. I mean, because honestly, if you have to take salvage, if you have to do salvage, there is an argument to be made that says, well, just go run the RNG and try to get a better 5 dot mod out of the challenges rather than go to the battles.
Or just buy them,
Or just buy them from the mod shop.
They'll probably get rid of that soon because that's only a limited time. So maybe when
that's going to disappear, guys. Prepare for that.
Oh yeah. You guys are making a great point that potentially the freaking mod shop gets changed too in all of this crap.
Yeah, because it's only a limited
time. You get a level 1A
time,
mod with stats that you can go and slice and stuff on the cheap. That ain't happening.
Yeah, that'll change because that was only a limited time. Like, they haven't said it'll change, but it makes sense if they're going to bring out slicing to then take away that you're able to just purchase gold mods with credits. It'll probably go back to its crystals again.
Well, but the crystal rate, I mean, the reason why they changed it in the first part was I don't think anybody was going in there and going, oh, this mod is worth more than going and buying a stun gun from shipments, right?
Yeah.
I don't know hardly anybody that went in there and bought mods for crystals.
It's only Krakens, mate. It's only Krakens that do it.
But I mean, if you converted the prices over, I mean, it was $20 for a mod. I have a really hard time telling a player, even a low spend player, even a moderate spend player, to tell them, hey, man, I think it's a really great idea for you to go spend $20 on one mod.
Yeah, I would think it. I don't know if they would go back with it because of the whole controversy on Battlefront 2 with the loot boxes. Mm-hmm. So that they could just completely get rid of the mods. That could be an option, but to go back and now change it to create as kind of like Battlefront, doesn't it? Where it's like loot boxes, you're buying something for like $20, $30, and then you're having to go through the RNG battle of upgrading it. So it's a loot, isn't it? It's like gamble.
Yeah, I think they've got I think there's a lot to work out, right? I mean, she gave us the 30,000 foot view on what's happening. On the overall, I like it. I do see you guys' point as far as, there is some, minutia to work out as far as, what energy do we use and how does slicing fully work, and do we get extra stuff with the energy we're spending just on slicing materials? I think those are all great questions. I just feel like that on the overall, I like everything about this.
Yeah, like, the thing that needs to change on it is it needs to go into mod challenges and mod battles, because it's not going to be successful, even for lower players. You're then pushing them to farm 2-dot mods, and to get their mods that way, and then to slice it and waste resources. And endgame players, me personally, I'm not going to waste Cantina energy and crystals to get an RNG factor from slicing.
So let me ask you this: what if they changed it? What if they changed it where on some of those tables you had the ability to actually farm for a 5-dot triangle? We've got 8 levels of tables in mod battles, but we only have six different types of mods, right? So potentially, if they added on levels, and now in those higher levels, you now could instead of you're like, damn it, if I could just get a speed bonus protection triangle with speed on it, what if you could actually go in now and farm for the exact mod you wanted in additional levels in the mod battle tables? So now
that'd be good as long as they're more than 2-dot.
Right. What I'm saying though is you spend the first 8 levels getting the challenges open, and then like level 9 through level 16 now we're guaranteed 5 dots at the specific set bonus you wanted and the specific shape. So now we've taken the why are we doing this crap table thing out of the way, right? Which now you're getting a 5-dot mod, and now you get to farm for a 5-dot speed triangle if you want to.
I would like to see what they're planning on doing with that, because what worries me is if it's upgrading the tier, and say you've got one at level 15, or you start them off at bottom. Say if you started it off ungraded, and let's say it's blue and it's got 6 speed, is it just going to add a purple and add the 3rd stat to it? So will it always just upgrade the 3rd or thingy, because it has to go to purple, doesn't it? And we know purple, gold, they all have 4 stats on them. So if you've got 6 speed on that, and that's on the 1st, and then you've got a fence on the 2nd, is there the chance that it's not going to upgrade the speed? Because technically that wouldn't make it a purple mod, would it? Because the rolls on it.
Excellent question. My thought is that if you have to go to, that's the reason why it might now be a good idea then maybe to use the slicing materials, because if all 4 are equal, then it's not just going to upgrade the 3rd one, it could upgrade the 2nd one or the 1st one, and so now you could end up with a mod that's more that has more speed on it than it was supposed to, the old way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's an excellent question you're asking, and of course, we don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, because the purple. So let's say blue. We'll start off with blue. They have two. They have two stats on them, don't they? That sit on there. So they have the two stats. So and let's put this into an argument perspective, that you've got it at base level. To go to a purple, it's going to add a third stat as a base stat. It's not going to add a third stat to the two existing stats. So will that make a difference with it being level 15? Will it just do the actual like numbers at the bottom? So if that's the way, then bam, how are you going to know which ones you've already got speed on, what were the base on your mods? Because it may not. That may be a way to trigger it.
You're going to change the color. You're going to know it because they're going to revert the colors back.
Yeah, but so the base stat. So if we had a look at the blue mod, you had a blue mod at the start. It's got two primary stats on it. If you upgraded that, it's going to add a third stat on it, and then a fourth stat that turns it into gold. Okay, so that's going to be it without it enhanced. So is it then these new salvage are only going to do
color when you level it though? So there's two different things now.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is it's based on the rarity, isn't it? So how it's going to be changing is the rarity. So what we know based on the rarity is that it's going to be like it is prior to when you start upgrading it. Going to be that the purple have 3 primary stats on them. Well, 3 stats, secondary stats sitting on them. Gold come automatically with 4 stats. Blue comes with 2, or is it green that comes with 2? Yeah, something like that.
No, green
comes with 1. Yeah. So if you're upgrading it.
Yeah, I mean, there's more questions than we have answers. That's what happens with a road ahead, right? Is we're trying to figure out.
They do show you in the picture a little bit of how that's going to work. I think to what you're asking, Smithy. So in the pictures, they show what the stats are, and it tells you how many times it's upgraded. So if you look at the picture that they have with the slicing, they show you a green mod is level 15, and they show next to the speed, which has a speed of 10, a little 2 in parentheses. So that means while this mod was being leveled up, so it started off as a level 1 with the speed primary. When you hit level 3, it upgraded it, so it got 1 upgrade of speed. Everything else got added afterwards. It only has 1 upgrade. So then when you move it to blue, it's going to randomly add a +1 modifier, so that 2 could change to a 3, or one of the 1s could change to a 2. And then when you go from blue to purple, it'll add another 1. And so essentially, it's like you had a gold mod, but you got the first stat quicker.
Yeah.
So gold actually ends up being, gold and gray end up being the worst. Blue actually ends up being one of the best. And actually purple, if you got all 3 of them, is actually like the best one, because you got 3 already and then you upgrade them. So like those are the you want to focus down in color. Gray is awful because essentially you're running the same thing as if you had a gold mod, because it's a 25% chance of all the stats. So you don't really want to focus on gray.
I mean, here's a question that I've asked before: is what happens to my orphan mods? You know, that like only have 3 secondaries but are level 15.
So they'll probably do the same thing, right? It's gonna, if they only have 3 stats and they're level 15, all this is doing is randomly assigning a +1 modifier to it. So you have an advantage where it's going to give you a 33% chance instead of a 25% chance, since that 4th one didn't roll.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I'm just saying that we don't know everything. We'll just have to kind of see how it goes. They have to do something with mods, right? And if they're gonna, and we're getting a lot of cool things. We're getting mod loadouts. We're now getting it to where now there are better ways to identify different mods by color now. I'm great with all of this, man. I'm thinking this is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely.
We have to see the cost too.
Well, let's finish up reading here, and then we can get to questions, because I'm sure we're going to have a buttload of questions.
Are we taking questions? I haven't even been looking. So
I'm sure Finn's on top of it. There's a lot more to share, especially details around these systems and how they'll work along with other mod updates we are adding to the game, which we will be revealing through additional communications, and we will be testing in the upcoming beta test. And as always, we'll see you on the holotables. Carrie Guscos, senior producer. So that's the entire post. I think it's time for some questions, Dr. Finley.
All right. So first question from Paul Morgan. Question: if splicing only applies to 5 dot mods, why farm lower mods?
Okay.
Great point.
So what if you can slice from 4 to 5? So you could take. So I have like 2 or 3 4-dot mods that are insanely good. I mean, like plus 18 speed on a 4-dot mod. If I could figure out what the slicing materials are going to be, I would love to take that mod to 5-dot.
Unless it's on a ship.
Especially if it's super cheap. What if it's super cheap to take them from 4 to 5? So now you got a 4-dot mod and you got a bunch of slicing materials and you love all, and you got a 4-dot gold mod. You could decide, well, let's level this sucker up, see where it goes, and I got slicing materials. Let's take it to 5-dot.
It specifically says slicing can only be done on Rarity 5 mods.
For now.
Oh. But they got to do something where you could literally take a level 1 mod, a 1-dot mod, and slice it all the way up to. Where you could take a 1-dot mod and slice it all the way up to 5-dot.
Well, it wouldn't be slicing. They would probably call it a different mechanic, but yeah.
Right. But I mean, you would think that if somebody just fell in love with a mod, they should be able to take it all the way from 1-dot to 5-dot. And I mean, think about a brand new player, right? All they got are 1s and 2s, right? And maybe they can't get. Maybe they don't have enough Jawas to do the crit chance, right? So they sit there, to do the crit damage. So they sit there and they farm the lower mod bottles and they farm the 2-dots, and then they could slice it all the way up to a 5. Like, we're giving them another way to get 5-dot crit damage without doing the crit damage mod challenges. Just as an example. That would be really good.
Yeah, I mean, it would probably be really expensive to do that, but it would have to be a different mechanic than slicing, because I don't think it works. Well, they say slicing is only 5-dot mods for now, so
okay.
I'll take them at their word for now. It might change, but I'll take them at their word.
Sure.
Next question, Sanely Red. Question, Ranger, do these characters mean an upcoming Darth Revan event?
Yes, it does. Our Lord and Savior is on his way. I was right.
And I am happy.
There you go. Next question.
I mean, I was at the hospital for the last couple hours, and then we went to Best Buy, and I come home, and I see these videos popping on YouTube, so I had to come on here. I read the release first, but I had some mild shock. I had a stroke, but now I'm out of it, and I want to get some Bastila Shan and Revan in my life.
Yeah.
Wait. Did you really have a stroke?
No.
No.
Well, he just went to
If
the
he had a
hospital,
stroke, he would be on here right now, Grande. Come on.
Yes, I would.
Oh, well, yeah. But he would be talking all funny.
You see what I'm saying, though? I just wanted to verify. Trust me.
No, it was just a follow-up appointment for my wife, but here I am, come home eating some 4th of July chicken from yesterday, and look what we have here.
All right, next question. Revenator, question for Ranger. Will Ranger buy a pack for these new KOTOR characters?
Oh, you bet your sweet
Of course he
monkey
will.
ass.
Yes, that's going to happen.
I don't know about all of them, but Bastila Shan, yeah, probably, yeah.
Now, has anybody heard anything about Canderous coming out?
No.
No.
No, not yet. Okay.
All right, Dane Kyrell, question. Jedi Knight Guardian is from the Old Republic. Do you think we will get her reworked too?
No.
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 No reworks on existing Jedis.
Especially generic ones.
She's good enough as it is.
And there you go.
She's good enough as it is.
Yeah, she can be on your 4th Jedi team.
She can beat General Grievous, so that's plus.
Stama Ospa, question. Any of these new people, the new characters, have ships in their story?
They
Yes.
all flew on the Ebon Hawk. I don't know if they're going to introduce that ship in the game, but that's the only ship that they're related to.
Okay. Ewokin, will Ranger buy a pack?
We already answered that.
Mm-hmm. Thane, didn't Grande want to bet a vault that we would never get Revan? I would take him up on that bet. He did bet a vault. He bet a vault by February that we wouldn't get Revan.
We never actually finished that freaking thing, you know? We never actually finished that bet.
All right, next question.
I didn't feel like taking your money, Grande, so I didn't do it.
All right, Revenator, do you think the way tiers are changing the mods, that higher tier mods will be needed to be placed on crew members and maximize their ship stats?
No.
So do you think you have to get to a gold level mod in order to add to the galactic power, and that'll change the way mods like the GP works and then the speed on the ships for certain characters? So now it's not level 15 gold mods, but it remains level 15 gold mods. It's not just quality A or whatever it is.
Could be. Could happen. Big possibility.
Mm-hmm. So get ready for that nonsense. Luke, question, why couldn't they do this yesterday?
Oh, no. Why did Luke ask that question? Oh, because of his...
Because he was with us yesterday.
Yeah.
Poor Luke.
Reggae Rockin' question, is EA scrambling for more money and copying more successful games like Summoner's Wars?
Oh.
Well, who knows? I don't think they're going to copy Summoner's Wars, though.
All right. Nathaniel Morgan, question for Ranger. Do these KOTOR characters mean Revan is coming?
Yes.
Tim Wickline, question, will slicing a clear mod, a gray mod, to green make a clear mod have secondaries? No.
Yes.
Yeah, but you got to remember, you're going to level it up to 15. It's already going to have 4 secondaries.
Yeah, you get the secondaries by leveling it. Slicing upgrades the secondaries. So there's 2 different aspects to it now. Leveling to level 15 will get you all 4 of the secondaries. Then slicing increases those secondaries above whatever they increase while you level.
So let's think about it. A gold mod has 4 secondaries, right? Gold mod unleveled 4 secondaries. They're already sitting there. Let's call every time we either see a new secondary or every time a secondary increases, let's call that a slice, right? So a gold unmodded mod has 4 secondaries. When you level it, it has 8. Now it has 8 slices on it. What we're saying is we can take a mod that does not have a total of 8 slices, and we can put 8 slices onto it.
Yep. Let's see what other questions we have here. Let me search again. Okay, question from Paul Morgan. If splicing only applies to 5-dot mods, why farm... Oh, no, I got that one already. Paul Morgan, does this mean that I need to farm mods hardcore right now?
So what does this mean? Here's what I think this means for right now is, if you're farming mods, we don't know what it means. I'd probably tell you don't sell anything until you're at max mods, right? And then once you're at max mods, what is it, 500 or 1,000 we can get in inventory? After you're at 500, then sell all the 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dots, and 4 dots.
Then they'll bring out your idea.
What's that?
Then they'll bring out your idea about upgrading from a 4 dot to 5.
Well, I'm just saying. Okay, so sell all the clear ones that are 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot, and 4 dot, right? Clear ones. Then I would say hold on to your colored ones. Then I would say you probably want to sell.
Whoa! You can't say colored. Can't say colored, Grande. It's no.
They're not gray. Gray is a color. I get it, but they're clear or whatever, like the lowest version. You want to keep. I cannot believe you freaking.
This is not the '60s anymore, Grande.
But the ones that are not an E mod, you want to keep the D's and the C's and the B's and the A's. Is that better? Are you good with that one, Chrome? Golly.
Hey, this is Felix. This is Felix. It's not Chrome. Come on.
Felix.
I mean, King Felix. Sorry, that's what I. But I'm just saying. Come on, King. We can't do it like that. So, and then I would say, hold on to the 4s that have color, especially like gold 4s for right now. And then I would say, sell your clear mods that are 5s, and hold on to your colored mods. And I'm gonna say, freaking colored mods. Hold on to your colored mods, because the colored mods are better, and we don't know what they do yet, but I would say keep as many mods as you possibly can in inventory or on your characters. That's just me, though, talking out loud. That's what I'm going to do. Anybody else have any other ideas on what they should do?
Well,
Nope, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. It's not the 60s anymore, Grande.
Well, that's science. All right, any other questions, Finn?
I think he left to go eat.
He went to go eat. Well, how are we supposed to get questions?
I have no idea.
Well, I poo-poo head.
Maybe he posted them in Skype chat. Hold on.
I think he had to go. So now we got to do Nightbot. Or let me go scroll. Let me go open up YouTube, the YouTubes, and I'll see if we got more questions. Hold on.
I'm looking. That filthy butt.
All right.
Got one from Josue. Why aren't we getting car?
Now can I? You guys better put question in there, or we ain't getting it. Aren't mods really monetized from Ray's side piece? I don't know the answer to that. Let's see. Why revert your mods? Slicing means big money. That's $2 from Paul Morgan. So it's not reverting a mod. It's just reverting the color back so we can understand how slicing works. We're not actually doing that. Next question. Reggae Rockin' asked a question. Is EA scrambling for more money? Oh, we already answered that question.
There's one from Josue.
Nathaniel Morgan. Do these KOTOR characters... We already answered that question.
There's one from Josue right here. It says, why aren't we getting car?
Well, they didn't introduce the character. That's why.
There you go, Josue.
But do you think the other Old Republic characters are going to come out in like a secondary or like?
They could go like more dark side with Malik and everybody.
Bimasu asked a really good question. He said, smooth or crunchy peanut butter?
Oh, I like me some crunchy peanut butter.
No.
Cream.
Creamy.
Vito Antu asked a question. Should a guy like me with a ton of mods be concerned with good or be concerned with good with less catching up? So really, I have a ton of mods too. Here's the deal. You spent 18 months farming mods, man. There's no way someone's going to catch up to you with slicing. Slicing is about taking what you already have, what you already deem as being good, and making it better. That's what I think.
Right.
So, Commander Skywalker question. Did they say that we could see the secondaries before leveling them, i.e. a gray mod showing what secondaries? No. The way I understand it is you can only slice once you've leveled it all the way up to 15. So you're probably going to have to level it all the way up to 15 and then slice. Not I mean, I guess.
No,
I don't know.
Maybe you can see the stats ahead of time, right? Slicing something different, right? So there's whatever they're calling it, where you can. I think it's slicing, right? No,
it's called slicing.
Yeah. So basically, you can see the stats ahead of time, so you don't have to make that investment. That's why they're doing it. So
I do not think that's how it's going to happen.
That's exactly how it happened. That's what they put in the wording, Grande. Read it again. They said, so you don't have to make the monetary investment. You can see the stats ahead of time. What slicing does is allow you to take a mod that is already a certain level and make it another level, right? So if you have a great mod...
Go ahead. Keep reading. Sorry.
But yeah, so that's how that's going to work. You can see the stats of a mod ahead of time. Then you can slice it. Now, what I don't know if you sliced, if it's going to change the stats when you go back and look at it again. Because if you say you take a gray mod, right, that say has has offense, and you really like it on a triangle, then you go in there and you look at the stats, which it'll be if you make the full monetary investment, and you see 12 speed. You're like, if I slice this, I wonder what would happen if I do get a speed on there. And so you do it that way. So it just gives you an opportunity, even when you slice a mod to a certain level, to see what will happen with that speed ahead of time. So you're not investing 400,000 credits to get a mod to 15.
But you would have to level it and then slice it, though, probably.
This is the way I understand it. Okay, so a gray mod, you only get one base stat for each roll. So no matter what, that stat's going to be lower than any gold mod that could roll a stat up. So I guess say you started gray and you went back and sliced it after you had it level 15. One of those 4 stats is going to roll again, going from E to D, and say D to C. A second stat could roll again. Is that how it's going to do?
Right.
That's how I understand it. Yeah, that's how I understand it. But it appears as though the slicing button might be grayed out until after it's already level 15. So you got to make the investment. Who knows, man? We're all guessing at this point.
Yeah.
Dang.
But we'll know once we get a chance to mess around with it. Let's see here. Questions.
So here's a question from Durgan. Durgan says, will we need Visas for a possible Revan, or will MasterCard or American Express work too?
Well, I think they take all major credit cards.
Question, is this creating a player gap? This is from Paul Morgan. Question, is this creating a player gap to include Gear 12?
No, not like Gear 12. And
I think slicing, but I do think slicing is kind of high end, right? But now it's not based on your guild. It's going to be based on how many of these slicing materials you get.
Yeah.
Bradzo, SWGOH, has a question. He says, what does this mean for the legend and KOTOR characters? And do you think this means that Revan will be a hero's journey like GOS and JTR?
What do you think, Smithy?
Revan's going to be a hero, like a hero's journey, yeah. So I think the overall, I still think Scion, Visasma is all connected to Mitra Sharuk. So that's a separate. Who knows if the new KOTOR characters would have to unlock Malik to then get Revan, and you'd have to have Mitra, or if it would be directly to get Revan. It's very difficult, but as there's going to be 6 characters, then they're probably going to be named for a journey. So because you've got HK-47 still in the game, then the plus the 5 that they're adding definitely leads somewhere to Revan, but it's just about how they're going to get.
I mean, we talked about this. We talked about this a while ago. Yeah. Before we got Revan, we would get characters from that time period that would be introduced.
Yeah, it's the same as if Padme
and everything, and then Revan would come along.
Yeah, and Bastila is Revan's wife in the end, anyway, and Mitra Sharuk is Revan's greatest follower.
That means they had a baby, Grande.
Yeah.
Not a potato head. Not a Mr. Potato Head?
No,
okay.
Not a Mr.
Got
Potato
it. I filed that away in the memory banks. I don't see any more questions. You guys got questions, now's the time.
Yeah. We're doing this RSG special, so if you have questions about all this stuff, then now's the time to get them in, because we're going to be going for a little bit longer. If you don't have any more questions, we'll cut it short. But we did want to address this, bring it up, talk about it, discuss it. So...
How long does everybody think that we're going to get it to farm these characters before the?
It'll be months. It'll be months. They won't. They will not introduce Revan.
Christmas
at the earliest. I think Revan's coming.
That makes perfect sense, man. It's gonna be like how it was. I mean, the fastest it's ever happened was Phoenix for Thrawn.
That was a horror, and they learned their boo-boo mistake on that one.
And I think they realized that was a little bit too fast. And so easily, they could say, "Hey, let's slow this down and pull it now." And then, Christmas time or
Christmas, because the character's 3 months, isn't it? So if they come out within 3 months after that, give you a month to farm all of them.
I could see that.
Yeah, a month to farm them all, I would say. And then, depending what legendary event they're going to have in the meantime, are they going to have a solo legend event, or are they going to have one with Scion? Because Scion was the only character I've seen that got added to the fleet hard nodes as well. And you've got to raise the question, why are they speeding up the farm on Scion when he's a brand new character? They didn't put Visas Ma in there. So could that be, is it going to be a legend event?
Saint Kyrell said, not true. We got 3 months to get the Viagra brothers for BB-8.
Well, but
And
we kind of
BB-8.
knew that was coming. It wasn't.
Yeah.
But what? Yeah, you're right on that thing. But it was not the turnover that the Phoenix to Thrawn fiasco was. My God, was that awful? Yeah.
That was
That
like
was a week.
days. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was rough.
So Chopper BZ asks a question. He says, "Do we think this will affect TB and TW game modes?" Abso-freaking-lutely, it will.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you get people who farm hardcore, even on these slicing materials, or who basically have a new, improved focus on mods, you could easily see all of a sudden now they're Gear 11. You go in there and they're like, "Oh, this team's Gear 11. They're going to be easy for me to whoop their ass." And then all of a sudden you go in there with like kind of a weak sauce team, and you get your butt handed to you because they've got effectively all gold mods on their Night Sisters. And you're like, "Oh, that didn't turn out well for me," even though the gear, this is what I was talking about. Now they're making it even easier for you to make a sleeper team on defense. Just like my Night Sisters are a sleeper team. I have one gold character on my Night Sisters team. And in the top 10 in TW, routinely, my Night Sister team goes 10, 14, 27 battles. Because we put Night Sisters in the back, and everybody looks at my team, and they think it's going to be some weak sauce crap, and that they can go in there with some garbage junk with their garbage freaking Empire team, and they can kick its butt, and they don't, and they leave that sucker with turn meter. And once you leave my team with turn meter, I'm going the distance with my Night Sister team. So yes, sleeper builds are going to be a real deal.
Yeah, you're going to get anybody that is slicing it and is upgrading their mods and stuff, they're going to have all the best mods, aren't they, really? They're going to have chances to make them even better.
So, question from... Let me get...
I'm back.
Okay. We got a question here that says, from Bradzo, "Sorry I expressed my question wrongly. I meant, do you think that any of the characters coming from non-canon Star Wars material?" We've gotten non-canon characters before,
Yeah.
so we could get them again. Darth Unlucky has a question. He says, "Who cares about Darth Revan? We all want Itharan." Who is Itharan? I think we all want Revan. We've kind of said that many times. I just want him to do it in a cool way. That Tony99 asked a question. Do you think anyone that doesn't spend money on the new characters would have enough time to farm everyone for a hero's journey, assuming it's coming?
No,
No.
I don't think so.
No.
If you're free to play, you're gonna miss it.
There's no journey.
Not a journey, but it's probably gonna be a legendary event for Revan.
And you'd be able
Yeah,
to
but-
unlock him at 5-star.
Right.
So
But
there's-
what you could do... Sorry.
Go ahead.
Revan's not going to be a 5-star character. It's going to be like Rey and Luke, where they're going to be 7 stars. If it's a hero's journey event, they're going to unlock at 7 stars. He is their status. That is what Revan is in the Star Wars universe. It's the same status as what JTR are portrayed in the game, and same as CLS. So he's going to be an automatic 7-star because only legend events that would unlock, let's say, 5-star, then you can do it that way, like Thrawn. But he's not going to be. Meecha Sharuk is going to be a legend event. She's legend event material. Characters like that. Revan's a 7-star unlock. So that's a hero's journey. You're gonna have them all 7-star. Best thing to do.
If we have a journey character, we're changing an existing character into a new character. What character is going to go from whatever status they are in the game now into Revan, or is it a totally new type of character?
Be a totally new event. They could easily make a new one. They did that last year with Hero's Journey from the Legend events.
You make a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to stay to what is what. They could just change it.
Data
Have a new
Descent.
event. Yeah.
Grande, I showed Kira your picture at the Children's Museum, and she said, I guess because he's a big deal, he can do that.
Boom shakalaka. That's right. I do everything with my kids I possibly can, including climbing onto purple caterpillars and looking like I'm riding it like a rodeo clown.
Oh my
yes.
God.
So Elliot Worsfold says, apologies if you've already discussed it. Which new tunes do you think will be tanks, attackers, and support? No need to pronounce my last name, Grande. Oh, well, sorry, I already did that. So, new characters. We got 5. Which one's gonna be what?
The droid will be support. Bastila will be attacker.
Zalbar
Wookiee's
will
gonna
be
be a
tank.
tank.
Yeah, tank.
Yeah.
Nah.
Twi'lek will be an attacker, and I think the other Jedi will be support as well.
I think Zalbar will be an attacker. I think he'll be more like veteran Chewie
Okay.
because he was an attacker. I think
You think the Jedi will be
Jolie
the
will be a
tank?
tank.
Yeah.
I think Jolie
Daniel-
will be a tank.
Interesting. Daniel Rose says that you could complete the legendary if you started saving crystals now and you had a ton of crystals saved by the time you were going.
That depends on how high you place an arena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're barely scratching 100, doesn't matter how many you save, you won't be close.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Jodie, I think Bastila, she's got that battle meditation, hasn't she? That's what she was known for. So I know I know Grandmaster Yoda's got battle meditation, but hers was much more extremely powerful in KOTOR. So I think I would say that she's going to be a support character that's going to provide non-dispellable buffs of some sort, or a new buff that makes the team like how Hermit's got, where he puts on, gives up this, then I think it'll lock it, like Master's Training, that it'll be her battle meditation where she's given stats and then she's reducing stats that are non-clearable, that are locked from the enemy team.
Yeah.
That's what I think she will be, and how she will work. She'll put like a Master's Training on her team, and then she'll put the opposite of Master's Training on the enemy team, and it'll be locked and they can't get rid of it until she's dead. And I think that's what Basta will be. She'll be a support. Jolie, he was known for his survivability. He was on Kashyyyk. I mean, he stayed there. He was a survivalist. He had Mind Trick.
He hung out in the trees and ate fruit. Come on now, Smithy. He chilled.
Yeah, but it was the dangerous part of the tree.
He was the Beastmaster.
Come on.
Wasn't he?
The fruit could have eaten him, or it could have had like a bug in it or something.
Yeah,
so he's
true.
probably very.
Did you know though? He wasn't actually a Jedi in KOTOR. He was only actually a Padawan. He'd never actually seen knighthood, and he left it, and he didn't want nothing to do with the Jedi, but he's getting a Jedi tag, and Beast is smart.
He was around for the Exar Kun nonsense, and then, he got involved at the end of Knights of the Old Republic. So, I mean, I consider him a full Jedi. I don't consider him just a Padawan. I mean...
Oh, no, I'm just saying he was never knighted or anything. He left the Order, didn't he? That's where he went into exile.
Well, so did Ahsoka Tano.
All right, so Revenator asked a question. So far, everybody's hero's journey has also required a legendary character as well. If Revan is a hero/villain's journey, does that make Malik into a legendary character?
We haven't even talked about old Malik.
Yeah, Malik. The new team could be for Malik, and then you could have Sion and Visasma for.
I mean, we're assuming these characters are.
Hold on, none of the legendaries has required a raid character.
No.
Yeah, but Mitra's not. Mitra's not.
He's talking about Trey as the raid character.
So for Revan, you could go. We're assuming that these new characters will be for Revan. What we haven't considered is that they introduce Malik, and then you have him as part of the other crew, right? As a possibility, even though Trey is a raid character. I'm just saying that could be a possibility. Just because they've done certain things in the past one way doesn't mean they're going to do it this way.
Okay, I got an idea, and this is going to be kind of going off of what you said yesterday, Ranger, about the new territory battle. Malachor 5.
I could see it. I could easily see it.
And you can either get, you could have Mitra. Mitra would be perfect for the guild, the guild event tokens piece, like Wampa and Hermit Yoda.
Sure.
And I think the other thing you're talking about, legendary characters for Revan, it depends on if they're doing a Darth Revan or a Light Revan, or if they're going to split the middle.
I think he's going to be the first character that can be used light side or dark side. Sith,
They
Jedi.
said they were going to do that.
Well, they
yeah.
have to because
It was a
then they're
long
not
time.
being true to who Revan was. Because
I
Revan didn't
agree.
give a crap about light side or dark side. He just used the Force as he saw fit for his goals. There was times
So
Revan
you-
could be really great,
Yeah.
and there's times that he could be just as villain as hell. But Revan never did anything. He didn't view the Force as either light side or dark side, especially later on, because he viewed it as what it was originally, the living Force. Right, and
So, but he only become a Sith though to be.
he was manipulated into that
Vitiate.
too. But it also led him to understand the Force in a different way, right?
Oh.
Because he was able to break free from that, and he just viewed the Force as it's the Force, you know.
Because it was Vitiate, wasn't it? Him and Malik weren't strong enough to defeat him.
No.
So they went off to learn the dark side and the Starforge, and they got consumed by it.
Yeah.
And then it was him. They didn't care about Vitiate really at all. They were just there for themselves, as like Sith would be, and they just wanted the Starforge because it was like the best fucking ship ever, wasn't
the
it?
reason that
So-
that Revan did attack the galaxy like he did, because after the Mandalorian War, he's like, they ain't ready. They're not going to be able to handle it. I have to do this so I can get everything set up so I can be ready for this.
I could take
empire.
on Vitiate, so I could take over to destroy Vitiate. That's all his goal was, all
Right.
the way to the end.
So,
From the beginning to the end was Vitiate.
even in the Mandalorian Wars, you saw Revan. He did some atrocities, but he never did atrocities because he was evil and he wanted to. He just did it because it was a goal. If I lost 1,000 troops, I lost 1,000 troops, but in the long term, we won the war. That was his kind of thinking.
Yeah.
But his view of the Force, if they go light side Revan, I'm going to be pissed, or just dark side Revan, because he is a character which makes him so unique. Because there's only been a few characters like this. He is a master of both sides of the Force. That's what makes him so ridiculous.
What if Ranger they release a light side Revan first as a legendary character, and then he ends up being the legendary character you need for a journey dark side Revan?
But the thing is, with that is Revan ends up being light in the end. So that being the journey from going light to dark wouldn't make sense with his story.
Because even if you
This is
count in
why-
the Old Republic stuff that came out, Revan was just, I mean, he after he got, we have to read the story of Revan, but after that, then he goes after Vitiate, doesn't defeat him. He basically stops Vitiate in the sense that they're linked together for 300 years.
Ken, you got questions? I'm driving again.
Yeah, we got questions. Don't worry.
No. I'm just saying I'm not.
I got it. I'm back.
Yeah,
Because
Finn's
I'm
back.
driving.
But yeah, so Revan it would be considered a Sith Master, a Master Jedi. He is, or Sith Lord and Master Jedi Master. He is not, but he never considered himself, he just considered himself Revan. And you just make him Revan, you don't put the Sith or the Jedi tag on him, you just make light side, dark side. He can be used in either or. He's Revan, that's why he carried a purple lightsaber and a red lightsaber. Because he represented both sides of the Force.
You don't want any tags on him.
I don't think you need to put Sith or Jedi, just light side, dark side. You can use him wherever, because that's what Revan did. He didn't give a crap about that stuff.
Right, but then he's going to get absolutely nothing from any leader abilities that aren't Rex. Like,
But he could also have his own leader ability.
Right, his own leader
True.
ability was just, and you can set up his abilities to where some are light or dark that you can use them, and there's ways that they could do it. Now, if you want to make it to where he has synergy, you can go Sith and Jedi. Yeah,
Dark.
I wouldn't have a problem. They put Jedi and Jet tag both on them. So if you want to use them in the Sith raid or their Sith territory battles, or Sith dark side territory battles, you can, or the light side territory battles. He's that kind of character.
Yeah, he's both, isn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think they'd put Jedi and Sith tag. They could do, of course.
Yeah.
They might do.
But if they just come out with Jedi Revan, I'm going to be pissed, because that's the.
That wasn't his arc, was it? He wasn't.
You know,
He wasn't governed to a
he's too
Jedi.
He's too complex of a character, and you can easily do it. Put the tags on him, come up with his kit. I mean, he was.
Yeah, either make him both or none at all.
Right.
Now, you think they're just going to make one character, though? They're not going to do a Darth and a And like,
I mean, if they do, I'm going to be pissed because that's again they don't understand the character. I mean, I'm sorry, it's not what Revan is.
well, I see.
Yeah,
them,
because
I
even
see
in the
them-
Old Republic, he had two sides, didn't he? And they had to split him in the Old Republic MMO.
Right.
Yeah.
To split him because that was the only way he felt that he could. He actually removed the light part of him from himself because he's like, I can't have this side of me to do what I'm about to do.
But-
Yeah, and it split him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he
But
became
I'm
a Force
thinking
Ghost
they
at the end.
they could do that because they don't think they can get the kit right in one character.
Yes, they can. This nonsense that they can't get the kit right is ridiculous. They can if they take the time investment, understand who the character is, and balance it. It could be done. I've never understood that. Thinking, well, it's too hard.
I don't think he'll be Jedi, and I don't think he'll be Sith, because if the Jedi, then that just buffs Master Yoda when they've already got two Jedi. If you make him Sith, and you just boost in Traya. So if you give him no tags, because technically he wasn't either. Yeah, he was Darth Revan, then he was Revan.
But you can make
then-
his abilities too, where it's like if you're using him light side with these characters, you know, you get these bonuses. If he's dark side, and there's a lot of creative ways they can go with this. It really is.
Yeah, well, they could make him a leadership like Rex, where it's universal to all.
Mm-hmm.
Those abilities are going to be a paragraph with Revan.
Could
Every
be.
ability. If he's paired with light side, this happens. If he's this happens. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Hold on, thing. But there's a difference between Anakin and Vader. It's still the same person, but actually, it's two separate people. But I'm saying Revan, universally. Sorry, I just disagree with you. Thing. Anakin Skywalker's a whole different story than Revan. You know, Revan's ebb and flow was too much. Light side, dark side, light side, dark side, light side, dark side. Until the end, he just became Revan. Light side and dark side. Anakin was never like that. There's light side Anakin, the Jedi, and then there's Lord Vader. You know, that's it. There's no dichotomy. There's no, you know, he didn't use both sides of the Force at once like Revan did. You know, I mean, sure.
It's more like how Luke turned out.
I mean, it's like the different levels of Luke.
Luke
You got
Skywalker,
Farm Boy Luke
where
and
he,
stuff, but I mean, Revan is
Well,
different than all those characters. You know,
But he's
if
more
you want
similar
to, you can
to,
go young Revan when he was a Padawan, and then you can go old school Revan. I mean, but Christ, just do one character. It's not that hard.
Yeah, but he's more similar to how Jedi Luke was in the EU, where he used both the light side and the dark. Like
Now, I mean,
power
they're
abilities.
doing that with Luke right now, where they're having the stages of his story. You know, you have Farm Boy and you have CLS, and eventually Smithy's going to get his Return of the Jedi, I think.
Hey, they might just skip it and go to milk drinking Luke.
One ability is going to be called At the Tip.
All right, let's get to some more questions there, Finadoodle. Wrap this up.
All right. Next question. Let's see. Where'd you guys leave off? You just did Elliot's question, right? Yeah. So I think the next question is from Tim Wickline. Question: what do you think about the idea of adding a splicing ability for a character star count so we can give CG even more money?
No.
Don't give him ideas. Next question. Fat Tony, do you think they will put any characters on the 5 hard node fleet table to force people who don't spend money on characters to focus on ships? It's a possibility, right, that they eventually put characters in that 5 hard node.
Well, they've already got them, haven't they? They've got Scion there.
Oh, that's in 4, not 5. 5 is a different difficulty level for most people.
Oh, yeah. They will, of course. It's a hard node, isn't it? It's the same as the higher tier ones when people couldn't complete it before to get Shore Trooper on like Dark Side 9 and stuff. When they put those characters, so yeah, it'll just be the same, won't it? They'll just put characters there. So that's probably where you'll see the new characters, like solo characters, maybe the new KOTOR characters will be going onto hard nodes, maybe like on the hardest nodes.
Paul Morgan question: with limited space on tables, does this make characters exclusive to where they will not be farmable after a certain period of time?
No.
Mm-mm.
They'll just move on. They'll just
Mhm.
move. They'll just double up some of them, so they could like double up Platoon and his ship, for example. They could put like 2 Night Sisters together on one. They could put like the weaker characters like Consular and stuff like that on one, and then move it around and shuffle it up. There's always rooms that they can ad hoc it and change it. They've already done that when they've moved like Scout from like was it Dark Side 9 or somewhere all the way to the bottom, or moved him from somewhere and put a character there. So yeah, they can just move them, or they get rid of the old ones. That because there's already characters there that you can already get from shipments as well. That have got like Mace Windu, for example. They could take him off of Cantina, for example, because he's already like in other places that you can get him. They could just move them. There's still some characters that are in the Galactic War that are also on a Cantina table. Take them off the Cantina table, then move, like, I don't know, Krennic down and put someone up onto the harder one, move Sith Trooper down. So yeah, they could just reshuffle it and change it.
All right. Next question, DSP. Question, this is about the mod rework. Do you think 6-dot mods are incoming?
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I'm going to say yes. Ranger, yes or no?
Oh, I say no.
I would say that you'd probably upgrade your existing ones, because there's only so far that you can go with Gear 12, 13, 14. Next thing on that, what's it going to be? Mods, where you upgrade it, like you've got the slicing now. Then, as Grande was saying before about taking a 4-dot to a 5-dot, the next thing will probably be taking a 5-dot to a 6-dot from an existing mod that you've got.
Mm-hmm. So I think 6-dot mods are coming.
I don't think yet. I think it's a while away, at least 5-6 months.
Oh, I would go
yeah,
much
I
shorter
think
than
December.
that. Yeah, I would go much sooner than that.
So we'll see.
I don't see what other real big content they would be able to put out. So I would actually guess by the end of the quarter we're gonna have like a whole mod with 6-dot mods. Okay, next question, DSP question. 4-star new Jedi, are they viable with Grandmaster Yoda? We don't even have a kit.
Man, we don't even have kits yet, and
Jesus.
they're already saying,
Hey, but yeah, I would say yes. I would say yes straight off the bat, right? Why? Because they're better than what suck-ass Jedi we've already got in the game. Come on, they're new characters. They're going to
That
be...
still doesn't make
they're
them
gonna be-
viable.
Well, they're going to be better than Mace Windu, aren't they? Better than
Better than
Anakin.
crap can still be
Yeah,
crap.
but nobody runs. We're talking about we run the Jedi's we run, right? The Jedi's
Okay.
we run are the 2 Yodas, Ezra,
That new?
and,
Okay, yeah.
and GK. Right?
Okay, so the characters you got in the Ezra's a character that come out last year. So he's in the squad because he's got a better kit than Anakin, for example, because he's
Right.
newer. So
Right.
what we know, the pre-existing Jedi are not currently going to get a rework. So
Right.
newer Jedi, it makes sense that they're going to be good. I would say out of the 2, I would say it's definitely going to be Bastila that's going to be really good for a Jedi team.
Well,
Jolie,
one
I
of them
don't know.
needs to be one of them needs to be a tank to take. Is one of them gonna kick CLS out of that Yoda team? No way.
CLS doesn't belong in the Yoda team.
He's got a
Padawan he was.
lightsaber.
Train him.
He's got a lightsaber.
He's not even close to the best fit for that team. In the 5th.
He's got a. Yeah, I'm saying the first character that gets kicked out of that team though is CLS. More than likely.
He's not even in the top 5 for Yoda's team. I think.
Imagine if
You're
Visa
talking
Ma
about
gets a Jedi tag.
You're talking about in
Oh, she
arena.
will.
In arena.
Even in arena, he's not the best.
Who do you think's better on that team today?
I would put Fulcrum in there over CLS on
No
that team.
way, man. Yeah.
No
Easy.
way.
Wow.
No way
Nah.
would I put. There's no way
Nah.
I put Fulcrum on that team.
Why do you
I'd
say that, King?
So I've been, because I had already Zetaed Yoda's unique long ago in a foolish, probably drunken night. So I double Zetaed him just so that I wouldn't have that wasted 1 Zeta. I'll just have 2 half-wasted Zetas, if that makes any sense. And then I started playing around with it. I still think Ayla Secura is one of the least utilized characters in the game.
I could say Ayla.
And she's an amazing character, and the counter is amazing and all that stuff. But with Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum, the Zeta is really important, unfortunately, because it makes it go through armor and can be evaded for her whirlwind. But if you have that on there, you get a minimum of 10 buffs So you're gonna hit every time for how what is it, 10K times 10? There's no character surviving that, except for maybe Scion after, or Nihilus after he's got all the health pool. And I have beat the Treya teams in my arena with that team.
Yeah.
With 2 Yodas, Ezra, GK, and Fulcrum. It works extremely well. CLS is good, but he's just by himself there, with no help. You can't debuff Fulcrum. She automatically cleanses every time, which is huge unless she's isolated, but which is huge against the Sith. And then she gets her buffs every time. In addition, she'll get defense penetration and offense from Grandmaster Yoda every time. So you stack all that defense penetration up on itself, and I'm one-shotting Treyas with full protection.
Wow.
Well,
So I have the bayonet on her as well, so that obviously helps.
Well,
But,
yeah.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I think out of the 2 Jedi, I would say that Bastela's going to be the better kit out of her and Jolie.
Yeah, I agree.
He was more of a side character than he was a main character for a start.
But you're pretending like those aren't going to go on Revan's team. Those are not going to go on Grandmaster Yoda's team.
Yeah, but that's at the start. We haven't got Revan yet. So
Yeah.
Revan could be
We're a ways away
a
from that.
while away. Yeah, it's long, probably good 4 months plus onwards away from anything.
I agree with Christmas time. That makes sense for me. Although,
Have a jolly holly Christmas.
But you
Ranger
think-
gets Revan.
do you think they stretch it out to the end of the quarter though, and make it what's in February?
Mm,
It's a huge pop on the end of their quarter, the fiscal year.
in
and-
February, March.
Yeah,
Loki's
they could
talking
do.
about that like crazy. And it's a
Possibly,
good,
but it is the Christmas season, and Revan would be a huge moneymaker for them.
we,
For the
yeah.
Christmas holidays and stuff.
And with going down this Old Republic route, you have huge paydays coming from Revan, Mitra Surik, and Malik would be huge. If you even slightly go into the rest of the Sith from that, Malgus, I know he's a little bit later.
Yeah, but yeah,
The-
XR Kun, they could go XR Kun.
But Exar Kun and be in there. And if
Shit.
I see, that's the one I don't think they'll do.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do
No.
this yet. I don't see them.
Because he should be on like 99 to the infinite 9 number unbeatable.
Yeah, like Abeloth.
Oh, yeah, let's not bring her in there. Oh, God.
Yes.
She would be
But
a
there's-
badass
there's
character.
the Sith.
All right, let's finish up with some questions and we can wrap this up.
Right. Run through these questions really quick. Revenator, since only 5-dot mods are able to be sliced, then is it safe to assume that 6-dot mods are not coming for the foreseeable future?
I think so, yeah.
I think so as well.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
thinking the opposite. But okay. Next question, Josue Garcia. Question: when exactly do y'all think Revan will drop? I'm trying to calculate how many crystals I need to hoard.
It's going to be a
All of
while. You got some time to save.
Yeah, it could be 2 of things, isn't it? It could be that these characters lead to Malik, and then you need Malik, some of the new characters, and other characters to unlock Revan.
It could be Neat
So-
Malik and the Sith
It could
Triumphant.
easily be a legendary for Malik, and then Malik is your legendary tune needed for Revan and the
Right.
hero's journey. But I mean, just get them
Yeah.
all.
The only thing I'm worried about that would just really boost Treya a lot, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
There'd be, I don't know if CG want to ride out a whole time of darkness in the arena. I don't know.
I think a
You
lot
know,
of us
like,
would love
That's
that.
to last till that.
That's going to be a neutralness. It'll be the light and the dark will mean nothing in comparison to
And
Revan.
people forget that Treya was Revan's master.
Yeah, when she was Kreia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for them
So you
not to
made it
tie them
Treya?
yeah,
In a galaxy
Yeah.
far, far away.
yeah,
And last question.
sure.
What else? 73. Should I Zeta Basilishan's basic?
Yes.
If there's a Zay on the basic, oh my god.
Ooh, a Zeta Basic. Can you
Still
even
waiting for one of
imagine?
those.
God.
Grande saying do the basic is going to have a whole new definition.
You're a basic, baby. I'm
Oh,
telling you, bro.
God.
You guys do never underestimate the power of a basic. I'm telling you. You do not underestimate the power of a basic. That's all I gotta say. How many times have I said it? Do a basic. Do a basic.
Said it a lot.
Sometimes whenever you have specials available to you, you should still do a basic.
So when it's alone time for Grande, he calls it doing a basic.
I think we can end on that note.
Okay.
I have 3 children and a wife. There's not very much alone time for Grande.
I think there is.
Fake news. Ranger
Well,
J 1999.
You say that, but
All right,
how did you get the second and the third kids? There is obviously some alone time.
Yeah.
I'll catch you guys later then.
All right.
See you
Hey,
later.
Smithy, thank you for stopping by, my friend.
Thanks, Smithy,
Yeah.
for stopping by,
Yeah, man.
brother.
Yeah, man. I'll catch
You
you
want to
later, man.
pip your channel?
Nah, it's cool.
Check it
I'll
out.
catch
It's
you later.
Smithy D. You gotta check out his YouTube. He put out a great video on this today. I thought it was funny, by the way, Smithy. But
yeah.
check it out. It's linked. So yeah, check it out. All right, Smithy, go eat your food
cool.
and do your thing, brother.
Yeah, man. I'll catch you later.
All right.
Right.
All right, and if you're watching this, guys, of course, this is the RSG. This is a special stream. We were going to do Battlefront. We had to interrupt our normally scheduled programming to bring this. So no Battlefront 2 today. But on behalf of the crew, thanks for stopping by. Make sure you like and subscribe, guys. It really helps us put out content like this and get out the information you guys to break it down. If you want to leave comments, you can. We more than appreciate it. Remember, tomorrow I'm sure we'll be talking about this more during the lunch stream from 12 to 1, so be prepared. I'm sure we're going to get a buttload of questions as more people digest this and stuff. So, all right, with that, we're going to call it done. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you guys tomorrow for more wholesome goodness and family quality entertainment. I made that up. But everyone have a great rest of your evening, and if you haven't already, come join us in the Discord. You can keep the good discussion going then. Everyone have a great rest of your evening. We will talk to you later. Peace.